Welcome to another Witcher lore video. I was considering what video to make today when I thought about an aspect of the Witcher games that's always really confused me, and as I'm sure you can tell by the title, this is that silver can hurt the Wild Hunt, despite the fact that they are elves. So I thought that making a video about this would not only be useful for me, but also hopefully useful for you guys. Anyway, let's begin. To begin with, the most simple explanation is that it is simply to make the combat in-game more fluid. Because as we know, whenever the Wild Hunt are around, they generally bring their hounds. So, having to switch between silver and steel every time you fight the Wild Hunt may just make things a bit too fiddly and boring. That's the most simple explanation, but the purpose of today's video is to try and find a lore reason behind this oddity, as this is one of those things in the Witch universe that's always confused me, similar to the Coroner and Oriana situation. Anyway, I've come up with a few lore theories for you all. To begin with, it may be that the Wild Hunt's armor is magic, therefore silver can hurt them. Now by magic, I mean that their armor clearly has some magical properties, they can seemingly walk in the frost they summon without taking damage like we do as the player, and when they wear their helmets, their voices appear to be magically changed. Perhaps the fact that their armor has been imbued with these properties makes silver the more effective weapon, because as we know, in the Witch universe, monsters are damaged by silver, and monsters generally have some sort of magical element to them. And I will quickly mention, guys, that in the books, silver is not used for every single monster, but in the games it is used for them all. So today we're just going to go with game lore to make it more simple. The next theory is that the Wild Hunt have had constant exposure to crossing between worlds. This may imbue them with some sort of magical energy, possibly making them more susceptible to silver. Now some of you may question this theory and say that sorcerers and sorceresses are exposed to magic all the time, so why aren't they damaged more by silver? But to that I say that perhaps the magic that people are surrounded in when crossing worlds is different to that already in the world. And perhaps constant exposure to this other magic is what causes this weakness to silver. You know, let's say for example that the magic you may have when crossing between worlds is much more pure than the magic that's been sitting in the world for so long, so perhaps exposure to this pure magic on a continuous basis is what causes this damage from silver. Another theory is that the NL elves as a whole, and this is the race that the Wild Hunt belongs to, are actually physically different to the N-Shea elves, and the N-Shea elves are the elves in the world that all these games take place and the books take place, pretty much, other than going to the NL world sometimes. For example, Iorveth would be an N-Shea elf, as would Yavin. So this difference in genetics between the elves may be what causes their weakness to silver, as perhaps the NL elves are just a little bit more pure. Something else I was considering is that we know that the NL elves are much more advanced in magic than most sorcerers or sorceresses. Perhaps in the world of the NL, this advanced magic has been fully embraced and everything, down to the food that they eat, has some sort of magic in it. For example, they may use magic to grow their crops. This constant exposure to magic may make them weaker to silver. I mean by physically digesting something that has had magic in it, and they do that all the time. This is just a theory, as I said before, and it's a lot of speculation, but I feel like it's definitely plausible considering how highly advanced they are and how much magic seems to have been used in their civilization. Something else to note is that the elemental oil is effective against both the Wild Hunt and their hounds, so perhaps it is prolonged exposure to the frost or crossing between worlds that causes this weakness, or it may be whatever magic they use as protection against the frost, because other than that, they have little in common. There's one other theory I've heard that perhaps it is to do with, and this is the fact that they are from another world. However, I would like to remind people that the world where these games take place is their original world, so that doesn't really work. I just thought I'd address that theory as that seems to be quite a popular one. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. This has been one of those videos that I've wanted to make for a while, as working through these inconsistencies in the games and trying to find reasons behind it just allows my mind to feel more at ease. Anyway, I hope you've all learnt something new today, or at least enjoyed today's video. As always guys, if you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to like it, as it really does help me out, and I want to say thank you to every single one of you that does that. That's very kind. Also remember, if this is the first video you're finding on my channel, be sure to subscribe. I do Witcher lore videos every few days, I do Witcher gameplay, I'm going to do some more Red Dead soon. I hope you're all looking forward to that, so be sure to subscribe if you enjoy these sort of videos. Remember to follow me on Twitter guys, I do updates on there whenever any video comes out. Also be sure to follow me on Twitch, I stream games on there whenever I can. Also be sure to join the Discord and Reddit, we have conversations on the Discord, and you can post pretty much whatever you want on Reddit. I look on the Reddit all the time, so I'll definitely see it if you post on there. So thank you to every single one of you that does all these things. And as always guys, a big thank you to the Patreon pledges, you guys are amazing. I want to say thank you to every single one of you, and I'm going to let the video play out with their names. Thank you to every single one of these people, you're all amazing. I hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have an awesome rest of the week.